Hello everyone, welcome to this Borderlands, the original, first game. Yes, there's some... Alright, let's grab a car. Alright, so the Borderlands series began with this. So, what are the unique parts about this action... I don't remember, action? Adventure FPS. Is, one of the few open world FPS games of its time. Okay. Ouch, my car was destroyed. Whoa. And yeah, sorry, I'm getting just distracted because I'm getting shot. Okay. Oh. What the frick? Okay. So one of the unique aspects was the fight for your life, second wind stuff. So you could keep going as long as you managed to snag a kill. So it kind of rewarded you being... Rewarded the player for being more aggressive. So, you want to get around enemies when you get knocked down. So then you have something to shoot so you can keep going. Keep the flow of combat going. So it kind of... It was a bloody good thing to do, really. And it's carried through all of the Borderlands games. For a damn good reason. It's just really helpful and really nice to be rewarded for those last minute saves. The art style was the big part. So doing the cartoonish sort of style, they were able to, be reasonable with the graphics and the demands on, say, a console for an open world game. Oh, let's just skip that. Whilst, still having good performance, good enough performance. And be playable on, PC and console, and even, crappy PCs in the future. I can still play it. And had the saves carry between them and all that sort of stuff. Alright, get it. Okay, where are we going now? Rust Commons West. So, the planet itself that you're on, the Borderlands, the planet, is pretty shitty. It's pretty full of bad, terrible, all these crazy people, and you've got all the zany NPCs who give you missions, and they're all memorable. So, you catch a ride guy, and so here we go, and then Moxie and all that. All the other people in the story carried over to the next games for a reason, because they were good characters, and the characters you play as carried over. So let's just jump out here. And we had, sufficient, pretty good enemy variety, really. Apart from, your main bad grunts and all those dudes. And then you've got all sorts of critters that need to be taught a lesson. And you had the leveling up. It's got a nice open world map. One of the things that Borderlands 1 had was weapon proficiencies. So this is something that didn't carry through in the same way. Like, we sort of have a whole other way of doing it in the future. But I actually like weapon proficiency, so I'm kind of disappointed that they, you know, I mean, you had the badass ranks in the second game, and then you had the inventory system, classic inventory, and you get your shield, grenade, and your class mod, and you can have, you know, different rarity weapons. So a bit looter shooter, you know, it's still adventure FPS, but yeah, looter shooter. And you could carry things between characters in a storage, a bank. Now, and the skill tree, they weren't too deep, but you know, they had enough on offer, enough different stuff. And in this particular character, Roland the soldier, you could just focus on, you know, your turrets, and then they could do all sorts of stuff. So they shoot missiles, and then you got all your typical side quests, main quests, different quests in different areas, and it gives you the level indicators, so you can outscale the mission difficulty by leveling up, say with DLC stuff, or just, you know, grinding. It was much easier to out level with the DLC, especially in Borderlands 2. I think that was the easiest one to out level early. So the first game wasn't as colourful. It was representative of the, you know, the planet you're on. So it was mostly dry, arid, mountainous areas. And you had any tough enemy that was, you know, hard to deal with was a badass. That was kind of the more elite, the elite mobs were badasses. This is not working. It's not killable! Okay, run away, run away. Why isn't you dying? Okay, yep, this is great. It's really great. Really great. They're level 24. So this is what happens when you die. Just showing you, you know. You have like a clone system. Don't worry, you don't think too much about it. They didn't delve too deep. Okay, that'll do. I'm just gonna stand in this dry, arid place. So yeah, less colourful than the future games. So this is something that they, you know, learnt from. Now, it was 4-player co-op online. Performance in terms of co-op and frame rate, lag, sort of stuff like that, you could argue that things. I mean, that's probably one of the big issues of the whole series, and even on the latest Borderlands 3, multiplayer lag stuff can be quite annoying. So it's one of the things that takes a little while to get sorted. So again, helps if you're playing with people. You could do the split screen co-op, which I always did. I always enjoy split screen. Back in the days, you could do split screen. Yeah, and it was always good playing, you know, with relatives and having fun and playing as a group, but also still good playing on my own. But I suppose the only real issue is that Borderlands 1 in particular, I feel like, yeah, 1 in particular, was known for being hacked. Like, as in, people would drop guns, like basic grey pistol that does like 99,000 damage. I don't think I have any, hopefully. I don't. Good. So someone will drop a crappy pistol or a shotgun that does, maximum damage, and just you one shot every enemy in the game, go through the whole game, one shot the final boss, which is what I did. Someone dropped a hacked weapon for me, and I just went through, clean through, got to the end, everything one shot, and I was like, oh, this isn't that hard. Then I have played it, normally, and it's, it's totally different, but it's one of those things that can take away from the game if the hacking is that easy, that people can just drop hacked weapons, and it's kind of like, didn't the devs, see that coming? That was a possibility? See, look, it looks a little bit better with the sun out. But yeah, it's one of those things that they did improve on in the later games, not necessarily on PC stuff, because PC you can do all sorts of things, but on the console in particular, it did change dramatically, that hacked weapon thing. Because if you can get hacked weapons in on a console, you're doing a lot wrong. A lot wrong. Shoot him! Pew! Pew! So I'm like outside of aggro range, so they're not coming close to me. So there's a lot of things they improved later on with terms of the enemy units and the way that they're programmed. So, Borderlands 1, they're quite basic. But then again, they still storm, that surrounded me and killed me over there. As for the story, I think Borderlands 1 story is okay. I don't think I had any issues with it. I'll talk about the other games when I'm reviewing them, but it's not the best of the stories, but it's not the worst. You do, go on a gallivanting journey through the world, and it's a menu. There we go. And Ross Collins. Can we switch to? Oh, and we can't even switch maps. That's great. We have the 4 different characters. So you got the soldier, the support gunner, and you have the siren, Lilith, the original Lilith, who's in the rest of the games. Most of the games. You got the brawler, a big boy, and you got the hunter, the sniper. And then you had sort of deviations of those with more nuanced, I suppose, variations as you go through the game. So they're the original classes. So you summon the turret, or you use the magic, stasis magic, or you get punchy mode and start punching things, or you go snipey, or you use your bird, Bloodwing. So yeah, I don't want to talk too much, but it is, it's a quality game, classic game. I don't know if I can recommend you play it now. I feel like if you never played Borderlands 1 but you played Borderlands 2 and 3 and the others in the series, then I don't know if I can really recommend it. I mean, it is still Borderlands, so it's not like you'll find anything unfamiliar. It just has less of the stuff that was added in later games, less of the quality of life things. So again, it's less developed because it is the first one. So it led the series, created a big win for using art to sort of disguise. I think this is kind of one of the things that we criticize, in particular JRPGs, is that sometimes the world itself doesn't look that good, or the characters are like disjointed from the world. And I feel like when you pick your art style and you just go commit to it, and it works for both the environment and for the characters, then you're on a winner. So it's kind of getting that mix of not making the graphics too high that you can't even play the game consistently on multiple platforms. Oh, come on. I just keep getting wrecked. Why am I getting wrecked? What is going on? What is going on? So yeah, that'll do. 7 out of 10. Classic game. But I don't know if I can recommend you play it. I just sort of think if you played it at the time, you'll have nostalgia value. which I do, and again, you're better off playing with other people online, in that case. Grabbing jumping at other people's games, and that was one of the things that it wasn't so finicky about where you were, and you could jump into people's games and they were higher level and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I would, yeah, definitely recommend playing with other people. This particular game, the others in the series, I think you can play by yourself, no problem at all. But I just feel like time is, the game is aged a bit. It still has the same sort of fundamentals that you'll recognise, but just the feeling and the colours and things are a bit bland. But it just, of course, it has good story moments and things. It isn't terrible or anything. But it builds the base for which all the others grow from and get stronger for. Particularly with, the fundamentals of building the open world. The lessons learned from this, I think, really set the series up for success. Why it's still around today. So, let's see. But you can just see the difference between these and all the future ones. You just be like, oh my goodness. So yeah, that'll do. I don't want to go too nuts. But yeah, this is Borderlands 1 complete edition, of course, because that's what they you can get with the DLC and stuff. But yeah, it's been Frosty510, sort of just yapping on about the original one. I'll go into more depth in the others because it's just the others have more of a sort of thing for me. But yeah, the classic Borderlands. I mean, it's still, it's not like it works bad. The art style, I think, is, so important because, again, it means the game doesn't age too badly in that part in terms of looks. You can still recognize the similar way that things are colored and textured and go, oh, that's Borderlands. You can recognize it instantly. That's Borderlands. And that's, I think, again, one of the things that had the series in great stead is that it had an iconic style and it stuck with it. And just sort of developed the nuances of, your skill trees and your combat and your loot and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, like and subscribe. Frosty510. Bye bye. I'll catch you next time. I shall look at the planet. There we go. It's a good shot. Good shot. Just going looks nicer. See, that's sort of. There we go. Okay. See ya.